All right, so we're here. Water Qigong is what we're doing today. This is going to help with all things with your kidneys and your urinary bladder, adrenals, overall flow and circulation. So we're going to be putting this into practice. Make sure this is a starting beginning video. So movements shouldn't be too difficult, but if you find that the movements have some sort of impediment, just email me or call me. Let me know what's going on, and I will sit with you and try to way to make the movements so that it will be more comfortable for you. Um, I want us to get a sense to understand the practice, what we're going to be doing here. We'll start off with the breathing first because the breathing is the key. Breathing into the lower dantian. And then we're going to go into the stances, holding the stances. There are 3 stances we're going to utilize, but I'm not going to have you do 5 of them each because I don't want you to fall out on me in your first day. But we'll go through the 3 stances one at a time. Then we'll go into the movement, and I'm going to bring in the lung qigong because the lung supports the kidney, or the metal supports the water. And for my advanced students, they understand the language of this, but people who are just new here just understand there's a method to the madness here. So the lung practice is going to help pump CV fluid up and down the spine. It's a key piece to make sure that we're guaranteeing that we're pumping water from the legs area also up and around and down the spine and throughout the system. So we want to start with the lung qigong first, and then we'll go into the specific water technique. So what I want to do first off is just, if it's your first time doing qigong, I want you to make sure that you are breathing correctly. So we want to make sure that the area 3 inches below you, so put your finger on your navel, put your thumb on your navel, and then go ahead and just like 5 fingers down where the pinky is, that pinky area down here, that is where you want to focus your concentration. That means this area you want to be moving when you're breathing. So there's no activity in the shoulders or in the chest. Everything is relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed, chest is relaxed, but the belly is active, right? So if I'm inhaling, the belly is going to come up. When I exhale, pull the belly in. All right. So let's begin that process. First off, the breathing. And let's do a thing called bringing down heavens, right? So I'm going to lift up as I bring the hands up. I'm going to inhale, exhale, bring down the heavens. Inhale, lift up, bring down the heavens. One more time. Exhale, bring down the heavens. Good. All right, so go ahead and place your hands right on the belly area, reaching here. My thumbs are making contact with the belly button. My hands are now trying to keep my spine straight. I'm actually sitting on the edge of my seat, no slouching, sitting on the edge of the seat as best as you can. If you can't do that for whatever reason, go ahead and sit all the way back, but please make sure that your spine is straight and there's no slouching over. All right? And so what I want us to do is just focus on breathing into the area, breathing into your hands. So as I inhale through the nose, my belly's going to push my hands forward. And when I exhale, I'm going to pull back and the hands retract with me. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull the belly back all the way to the spine. So in a while you're going to be kind of like doing crunches a little bit, but that's okay. So inhale, belly comes out. Exhale, pull back to the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now keep breathing on your own while I talk. If you're doing this correctly, you should feel some heat being generated in the lower abdomen. That's what we're looking for. This guarantees that chi is being cultivated. There's actually blood flow. This also helps with digestion. And this is also the technique that slows down the brain waves into alpha state. But we're not going into any trance work today. It's for another class. But I want you to feel this heat generated in the belly, no matter how minute. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Belly pulls back, shoulders relax. Deep breath in. Pull back, exhale. Deep breath in. Pulling back. Deep breath in. Pulling back. That was about 5 minutes. So now we know how to breathe. Now we're going to stand and make sure that we're keeping the same type of breathing while we are standing. So I'm going to go ahead and come on up. So when we're standing, the feet are parallel to the hips, in line with the hips, in line with the shoulders. Place your hands now on the lower dantian area here, and breathe again. And we just keep that breathing going, nice and smooth. Now you go on your own, go as slow as you want, and the slower the better, right? You don't want quick breaths, nice long breaths. Now we're going to go ahead and drop the hands to the side and keep that same breathing going. Okay, now we're going to go into our Wuji stance. Stance is for the water element and the wind element to guarantee circulation. So keep the feet in the same position that they are, knees and toes pointed in the same direction. I'm going to drop my tailbone, which is going to cause me to sit back slightly. So my knees are actually slightly bent. Shoulders relax. Good. And breathe into the lower dantian. Good. Hollow the chest, meaning that I'm slightly bringing back the chest so my spine is straight as I can possibly make it. Shoulders are also relaxed. And then I'm going to drop my chin a little bit, but what the idea is that I'm holding an apple between my chin and my neck, which elongates the spine even further up the back of my head. And I'm breathing into my lower dantian. Now let's go ahead and set our another one of our breathing patterns, because Qigong is also about controlling the breath and visualization along with the physical movement. So I want you to breathe into your lower dantian, this area here. And when you exhale, imagine you're sending the air through the legs into the earth. Then pull in from the earth to the lower dantian. Hold the breath. And you feel energy go to, think about your kidneys. Think about your heart. Think about your armpit. And exhale as you imagine that the energy is going from the armpits to the palms of your hands as you exhale. Okay? And if you can't do that, that's okay. Just do the best you can. It's your first day. So once again, inhale into the lower dantian. Exhale into the earth. Pull in from the earth to the lower dantian. Think about the energy going to your kidneys, to your heart, armpit. Exhale into the palms. Great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to root even further. Think about your big toe, little toe, and heel as they grip the floor. And then we smile, right? Lifting the corners of the mouth to the earlobes, smiling. Activates the friendly chemicals in the brain. Okay. Now imagine that roots are growing from the bottom of your feet, going into the earth, past the foundation of your home, making their way and pushing and pulsing their way through the crust of the earth, passing all the ancient memories and any civilizations or waterways, fossils. Then they go past the mantle of the earth, and these large taproots extend down to the core of this planet. And you visualize the yellow molten core spinning around, and those roots attached to that core. And that's actually called the 1 through 5 meditation, which is what we will do every class. 1 is fun, we smile. 2 is shoe, big toe, little toe, heel grip on the floor. 3 is tree, roots going into the earth. 4 is core, visualizing the roots going into the core. And 5, alive. Steam rises from the center, enters into your roots. And like straws, those roots begin to absorb the chi up through the mantle, through the crust, the foundation of your home or complex, to the feet. I want you to take a deep breath in as you pull the energy up to the lower dantian, through the legs. Hold the breath as the energy begins to circulate to the kidneys, and then to the heart, to the armpits, and exhale into the palms. Now the first stance is going to be for the lungs. I want you to imagine you're holding a ball, and give that ball a golden light as it's shining. And we're going to inhale into the lower dantian, exhale into the earth, pull in from the earth to the lower dantian, and exhale into the palms, illuminating this golden chi ball. Inhale, exhale into the good earth, pulling from the good earth to the lower dantian, or to the kidneys, to the heart, to the armpit. Exhale into this ball. One more time. Inhale, exhale into the earth, pull in from the earth to the lower dantian, kidneys, heart, armpits. Exhale into this ball. And this is your lung stance for the lungs. Next, we're going to do the water, which is what we're here for, right? So the hands come forward, fingers are down. So the hands go forward, the kidneys push back. The hands drill out, the knees drill in. Top of the head lifts to the sky by dropping the chin. and the tailbone anchors to the earth. So now we have 6 directions of opposing force: front, back, in, out, up, and down. And you want to be stabilized. So if we were in an actual class, I'd be going and pushing and making sure that you're actually stable, that you cannot be pushed over in any direction. And this is for the kidneys, kidney stance. And we're going to do the same principle of breathing, inhaling into the lower dantian, exhaling into the earth, pull in from the earth to the lower dantian. It goes to the kidneys, to the heart, shoulders, and exhale as the energy goes down the hands, down the arms to the palms. Then inhale again. Exhale into the earth. Pull in from the earth to the lower dantian. Exhale into the palms. One more time, inhale. Exhale into the earth. Pull in from the earth to the lower dantian. And exhale into the palms. Good. And then for the last one, just bring the hands up, fingers pointing to the heavens. You can release the knees. Right? I still have this position of sitting, right? That doesn't change. My knees are going from here to there, right? Pointing forward. And once again, inhaling into the lower dantian. Exhale into the earth. Pull in from the earth to the lower dantian. Exhale into the palms. Inhale into the lower dantian. Exhale into the earth. Pull in from the earth to the lower dantian. Exhale into the palms. Last one, inhale into the lower dantian. Exhale into the earth. Pull in from the earth to the lower dantian. Exhale into the palms. Great. Relax. Bring down the hands. And let's shake out the 9 gates. So you should be nice and toasty. The indication that chi is flowing and blood is now circulating. We've been developing internal heat, and now we're going to scatter the rest of this internal heat out to the fingertips, where they will begin to saturate the capillaries. Right? I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, and 3. Pull hands out, so feel the buzz in the hands, indicating that you've got chi moving through. Perfect. Okay, so now let's go through our lung qigong, so that we can guarantee that there's actual chamber fluid going up and down the spine. So if you have any spinal injuries, any vertebrae injuries that you're dealing with, you can skip one of these movements. Write me, let me know, and I'll get back to you on how to adapt. So the first thing I want you to do is go back into this Wuji stance with the bent knees. And so the weight is primarily on my heels, primarily. But I'm going to shift my weight to my toes, and then I'm going to arch my back, right? So now my pelvis is tilted, right? And then I'm going to shift my weight back to my heels and shift my weight down and drop. So I want you to get used to this motion here, in back, right? This is an important piece. Inhale, and then exhale. So the breathing goes inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. right? So make sure that we've got this motion going. This is called standing on boat. You should be able to be comfortable with this simple motion, right? In the Chinese, in our system, in our northern system that I'm affiliated with, we call this whole section called the brass basin. So we're tilting, I like to say we're pouring and we're drinking, right? Pouring the cup, drinking the cup, or the brass basin, key piece. Now once you have this motion, we're going to work on the upper part of the spine by arching the back, and the chest is now lifted to the sky, and I'm going to exhale and bring it back. Good. And I'm going to bring the hands together. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's do a few more of these. I'm going to face you now. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Great. Now the next one we want to do is flapping the arms up and down, because the lymph nodes here need to be exercised. And as we exhale, now that we're pumping, we're going to be exhaling all toxins out of through our breath, basically. So this is called Phoenix Rises. So I'm using the same principle as my torso, arching the back, right? But now I bring the hands up as I inhale. And then I exhale. Bring the arms down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Set. Okay, so we've got, so mind you, this particular series, there's always this pumping that's always going on, right? In most of the movements, right? So whether it's here or whether it's there, and a few other future ones we're going to be getting to today. Next, let me just check the time, make sure I got the time going. So the next thing we're going to work on is snake rises from the grass. And if you have a heart condition, do not bring the head lower than the heart, so you can just keep the head up, right? And then just curve, open up the shoulder blades and bring the collarbones together if you need to do that, right? In this motion here, right? But keep the head up. For the rest of us, we will be going down. Place the hands, palms facing front, right on those hips. And I'm going to bend the knees. My shoulder blades are touching, and I bend the knees as I come down. And then I'm going to open the shoulder blades, curve the collarbones, drop the head, and slowly ragdoll myself up and bring the shoulders back. Now at this point, we're bringing the shoulders back and down. Place the hands on the hips. I'm going to go down. And then drop, ragdoll up, build up your spine, vertebrae over vertebrae. Exit, bring it down again. Now we're at the breathing. Inhaling as I go down. And then exhale up. Back down. Inhale. Shoulder blades are touching. And then exhale. I usually touch the floor and come back up. You don't have to. As long as you're whipping the spine, this sort of ocean with the spine. Inhale. And then exhale. Good. Inhale down. And then exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. And set. Right. Now we're going to work on a thing called grasping sun, grasping moon. So technically the left side of your body is the sun and the right side is the moon. And because of the way the video, I'm actually turned around, so my left is your right and your right is my left and so forth. So, but don't worry about that. I just want you to work on being able to shift and turn this leg in, all right? Like Elvis, right? So I'm gonna just right here, put the hands here, shift, right? This knee and this toe in the same direction, it doesn't move. This turns over, so this knee is pointing to this knee, this heel is facing up to the ceiling, right? Bring this heel down, shift over to the other side, lift up this heel, turn this knee in, which turns the torso in this direction. Reverse, bring that heel foot back, drop the heel, and shift to the other side. Lift up, turn, which turns the torso. Bring it back, and set down. Right. Now imagine you have a ball, the same thing we have this ball, this golden chi ball, right? If I shift to this side, I lift this heel, I turn this in, I'm going to reach up and I'm like grasping an orb as I inhale and exhale and bring it down. Shift to the other side, lift up this heel, turn this heel, lifting up, inhale, exhale and bring it down to the lower dantian, right? Close to the other side, lift up the right heel, turn the right knee towards the left knee, reach up, inhaling, exhale, bring it down. Close to the right side, lift up the left heel, turn the left knee here, inhale, reach up, inhale, exhale, bring it down. Close to the other side, lift, turn, lift up, inhale, exhale, bring it down. Lift up, turn, lift up, inhale, exhale, bring it down. One more time, lift up, turn, change torso, lift up, inhale, exhale, bring it down. Great. So now hold this chi ball, and we're going to do a thing called clearing the chakras. They're clearing the seven centers. We won't do that, all the chakras, but I do want to get this concept of rolling this invisible ball down and up the spine, right? Which is, I think, more important for right now. So I have this ball. I'm going to roll this invisible ball down underneath my tailbone. Now notice I'm in the same position as I was earlier in the rocking with the bow. I'm going to lift up, catch the ball in the back of my neck. As I roll it over my head, I'm going to go ahead and drop the tailbone and bring this ball down the front of my body. Underneath, catch, bring it up and down the front of the body. So just get used to this sensation of inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Just get used to this motion, because this is what we want to have happen with the fluid in our system, right? So inhaling up, fluid comes up. As I exhale, I'm actually exhaling all the poisons and toxins out of my body. Yep. And exhale. Bring it down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. So this is a good exercise. This is the last one here. Inhale up and exhale down. Great. And set. Perfect. Shake the hands. Good. We're going to get to the 7 centers a little bit later. All right. I just want you to get this motion of pumping fluid up and down. This is a key piece in the practice of longevity in Qigong. All right, the next one is going to be grasping clouds to make a pillow. It's one of my all-time favorites, real cool one. And this works on the very top of the cervical, the top of the spine here. Gonna grasp, the hands come up. I'm grasping all the clouds of the sky. I place the clouds behind my head. I'm making a pillow. My shoulder blades are touching. My chest is to the sky. I take a deep breath in. And when I exhale, I open the shoulder blades and I curve the collarbone. But I'm not, I bring the elbows together, but I'm not pulling my head. There's no pulling of the head, so no pulling at all. I'm just opening and closing my shoulder blades. Right. Then I come back up again as I inhale. And then when I exhale, I'm going to bring all the heat, because you got to heat, there's heat in the head. You want to bring all the heat down, and imagine you're pushing it all the way down to the lower dantian. One of the key pieces of Qi is you want a cool head and warm hands and warm feet, but the head should be cool. And this, of course, heat rises, so you're going to feel that coolness, that heat in the head. So we do these exercises to bring the hands, to remind the Qi that it's supposed to come down the front of the body into the lower dantian, into, at least into the belly region. Okay, so let's try that again, right? Grasping the clouds, inhaling, behind the head, shoulder blades are touching. I'm going to exhale, bring those elbows together, open the shoulder blades. Then inhale, open up again, and bring the heat down, and push the heat down to the belly or lower dantian. Right? One more time, grasping the clouds, deep breath in. Shoulder blades are touching, chest to the sky. Exhale, open the shoulder blades, collarbones, elbows together. Inhale, open up. And then exhale, bring all the heat from the head down and pushing down into the lower dantian. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. All right. Great. So I hope that feels good. You know, because what we're doing is we're activating and putting our consciousness on our lower thoracic, mid-thoracic, and the cervical up here. So once again, there's constant fluid going up to circulate through the brain. Right? Next one is going to be called Return to Fetus, and this is a complicated one, so please do the best you can with this one. I'm going to bring the hands together with my palms facing out. The hands, these fingers here, they go up the center of my body. Right? Now, this is just do the best you can. I'm going to flip my hands around so my elbows are touching, but the hands, the palms are still facing out. Then I'm going to bend forward. Then I'm going to come back up. And then I'm going to reach up and swim out and begin that process again. Once again, bring the hands together, palms facing out. Fingers come up the buttons. Flip the hands, elbows together, palms facing out. Drop forward, bring the elbows to the groin. Come back up. Reach the hands up and swim out. Right? Now let's do the breathing. Breathing goes like this. I'm going to inhale as I bring the hands up the buttons, elbows together. Exhale all the way down as I bend forward, right? But I'm going to empty the lungs completely. Then inhale as I come up. And then exhale as I swim out. Good. Hands together. Inhale as I come up. Palms are facing out. Elbows together, palms facing out. Exhale as I come down. Bring the elbows to the groin. Empty all the air out of the lungs. Empty, empty, empty. Then come up as I inhale. Reach out and swim as I exhale. And then I do it again. Hands come together, palms facing out. Bring the hands up as I inhale. Exhale as I go down. Inhale as I come up. And exhale as I swim out. Great, great. So that is the lung qigong, those basic 9 moves that is going to be part of your practice moving forward. Now that we did the lungs, we can go ahead and do some of our kidney work. The kidney work is going to be some twisting that's involved, so hopefully you'll be okay with the twisting. And a couple more stances that I really want to work on. But for right now, I want to do some kidney tonification movement, and this requires the ability for you to either you're going to bend down and scoop the ground. If you can't do that, then you can just bend the knees and come back up. This process of toward bending and coming up, right? Okay. So let's see what that looks like, shall we? I'm going to take my left hand, I'm going to put it on my right kidney, right? This right hand's going to come out, and let's take a nice, wide, comfortable step, and just go as low as you can. You don't have to go as low as I go. If you can just go, if you only go part of the way, that's fine. You can go all the way down, that's good. But if you can't, that's okay, you don't need to go all the way down. But what I want you to do is create this kind of scooping motion as I'm scooping water, and then I spread the water. Scooping and spread. Scooping and spread. Right? So here we go, like this. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale, right? Let's do the other side. We're going to come back to this. I'm going to go into something else. Out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, and exhale. Right? So we've got that motion, right? This scooping motion, right? Now let's go to the feet. Feet are very complicated, only because we're not taught to really walk. Nobody on this planet really walks. If you take Tai Chi, then you'll never walk the same ever again, unless you have a teacher that doesn't teach you the importance of using your feet in Tai Chi, because a lot of times in Tai Chi, there's all these arm movements and oh, it looks so beautiful, and out in here, and then that's, but they don't know that there's pushing with the feet that's involved, and this is really a key piece for if you're having any kind of chi stagnation in the feet, whether it's an edema or whether it's gout or anything like that. You got to move the feet, not just move the feet, but you got to push the feet into the earth. All right. So I want you to think about everything you do is based upon the feet. Don't do anything at all unless the feet are involved, right? So if I'm going to push to one, if I'm going to shift my weight to one side, I'm going to push, I'm going to squeeze. And the mere squeezing and pushing gets me to push over the other side, right? If I do the same thing on this side, same squeeze and push, right? So just go back and forth, pushing here and back, pushing here and back, pushing here and back, pushing here and back. Good. Right. So whatever we do, we're always pushing the feet into the earth all the time. Right? Key piece. Now what I want you to do is work on this figure 8 routine. Right? This is also part of Tai Chi. So right now I'm just shifting all the weight to my left side. The majority of my weight is actually on my heel right now. Now I'm going to shift my weight to the front of my feet, where my big toe is. So all the weight, say 95, 98% is actually on that front toe, or actually in the ball of the foot, basically. Now I'm going to shift the weight from the front part to the back heel. right? So I'm making an emphasis to make sure that my weight is on the heel. Now I'm going to shift the weight to the front of my right foot and shift the weight back to the back heel, right? So once you just, this is kind of a moving meditation, right? Now you're putting consciousness into your feet because we haven't learned to really be aware of our feet, right? So shift the weight to the front, pushing back to the back heel, which is going to be on your right heel. Shift the weight to the right front, pushing back to the back heel on your left heel. Shift the weight to the left front part, push it to the right heel, push it to the front, and then to the back heel. Okay. Now my hands will tell you which way to go. If my hands are pointing at the diagonal, that means in a diagonal way, that means the heel all the way on my heel. If I bring the hands forward, it's coming to the front. Okay. When I bring the hands back as I cross, it's going back to the heel, and then I go through, and I'm not pointing at diagonally at the wall. Then I shift to the front. Now I'm going to push to the back heel, diagonal, front, push back to the back heel, goes through, and yep. Good. So this is a homework assignment for you the next week. I want you to get used to this type of thing here. Shifting heel. And when the heel gets shifted on, the hip socket, it buckles. So your body's going to want to naturally turn in this direction. It's anatomically correct. Now I'm going to shift the weight to the front, ball the foot, push back to that heel, back here, front, then back, front, and back, and front, and back, and front, and back. Good. Now when you get this, I want you to never stand still anymore. There's no reason to ever stand still unless you're doing the Wuji stance. That's different because you're actually, pumping, whether you realize you're not pumping fluid and qi throughout the system, right? But if you're waiting at the bank or at the grocery store or at the bus stop, or if you're just watching TV, just kind of go back. Do this figure 8 series, right? And what's going to happen is that your feet are going to get nice and toasty. That's what we want. We want nice, toasty feet. Particularly women who get into the age of their 50s, the bone density begins to buckle, you lose your vitamin D, it gets drained out by various other situations that are happening within the body, and also you're experiencing osteoporosis and osteoarthritis, and so we want to make sure that we're always pumping at all times. And you can go the opposite direction if you want. You can go back and go from heel to toe. I don't want you to get too confused. You can reverse and go the other direction. Now that we've got this motion, I want to try to apply it with the scooping, right? So let's just do it a couple of times. This will be one of our exercises that we do, right? Coordinated exercise. So if I'm going to scoop, I'm going to shift the weight to the front. And as I shift the weight to the back, I'm scooping to the heel. Here. Now I'm going to shift the weight to the front. I'm going to spread the water as I shift it to the back heel. So to the back heel. I do the front heel first before I scoop. And I'm scooping to the back heel. Then I come up, I shift the weight first, and I spread to the back heel, right? So just for structural reasons, we remember the feet initiate everything. So I'm not going to scoop until my weight is forward. And then when I scoop, I'm going to scoop going back to the heel. When I come up, I'm gonna shift forward first as I push back to the back heel, then I spread the water. Okay? Shift first, inhale scooping, up, exhale, front, spread the water. Let's do the other side. Okay, this will be key piece here. So right now I shift the weight from the heel, from my left heel to my left ball of the foot. Gonna shift and I'm gonna scoop going towards the back heel. Come up first, shift the weight to the front, and then begin the process of pushing to the back heel before you spread the water. Foot first, arm next. Okay? Forward, down, inhale, scooping, come up, shift the weight front, push first, exhale, spread the water. Okay? Front, scooping to the back, and spreading to the back, to the heel, I should say. Right? Great. Excellent. Another one thing to do, we're going to add on moving forward, just a little exercise for the hips. So take your hands and just do a little Mr. Miyagi, right? And the kidneys really like warmth, so we're going to put the hands on the kidneys, and hopefully your hands are nice and toasty, and your kidneys are absorbing the heat. The kidneys really like warmth, you know, particularly in the winter. You want to make sure you do this a lot, all right? Really key piece. And then take this, do this Miyagi again, and this time we're going to put them on the hip sockets, and then just going to part the hip sockets like this, right? Okay. And so what we want to do is to open up these hips. I want you to get used to opening up this way, opening up this way, and then being able to turn in, then back, turn in, and back. So these are some more stances we're going to be working on, called the 8 vessels. We won't do all the 8 vessels, just the ones particularly going to be hoping to open up and warm up the hips. So I turn in, and I'm just going to hold the position. Yeah, and if I do this for a long period of time, I'm going to feel blood flow. How do you get blood flow into a place? Constrict. If you constrict, 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 and then let go, then the blood comes in. That's the principle. So go ahead and shift the heel back. Post. Turn the heel in. Right? I'm making a number 7. It's called 7 stars press earth. So I'm making a number 7 with the feet. 7 here, right? And all the weight is pretty much here. This knee is bent. This knee is straight. This calf is being stretched. Remember we talked. Oh, we didn't describe. I didn't tell you about the calf. We'll do the calf stuff next class, right? And if I want to, I just embrace the heart. And this is a really good way to warm the body up, right? So if I want to go to the other side, I just bring the hands down. I'm going to turn this heel in. Post first, shift first. Then I'm either going to lift the toe and turn this in, or I'm going to go ahead and just turn it. Make sure that calf is stretched, and then embrace. Okay? Perfect. So we're gonna add these. So the first week, please follow every day as much as you can the lung qigong, right? You know, that should take about 20 minutes, hopefully, right? And maybe three times a week if you can. Try to do. Well, actually, just follow the tape as best you can. Try to do the whole tape once this week coming up. I say every day because I want to move on to other practices, but I just want to make sure that you're prepared for the other practices that we're going to be coming in over the next week, right? So you can go ahead and just do the whole practice for the lungs, and just follow this entire sequence from the breathing all the way, and then you should be good to go. Next week we're going to actually repeat a lot of this, and we're going to add on, and we're going to modify things that we didn't have in this particular class. So that's it. Let's bring down the heavens 3 times. Go inhale up, exhale down. Up, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Great job, everybody. We'll see you soon.